sir. We have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Trump lifts veil of secrecy decades after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. While the previous U.S. governments have released thousands of documents over the years, yet key files remained classified. Until now. What new truths have emerged with the latest declassification after Donald Trump returned to the White House? And what do we still not know? Let's break it down. First, let's revisit the key facts. On November 22, 1963, President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, as his motorcade passed through Dealey Plaza. The official investigation, led by the Warren Commission, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. But doubts have persisted for decades, fueled by missing evidence, inconsistencies in witness accounts, and alternative theories pointing to possible involvement by the CIA, the Mafia, or even foreign governments. Over the years, multiple document releases have shed light on the events surrounding JFK's assassination. In 1992, Congress passed the JFK Assassination Records Collection Act, mandating the release of all assassination-related documents by 2017. But successive administrations delayed full disclosure. That brings us to the latest declassification. In March, the Trump administration declassified thousands of previously withheld documents. Among the biggest revelations, classified CIA cables confirm the agency had an active surveillance file on Lee Harvey Oswald months before the assassination. This contradicts previous claims that Oswald was just a blip on the radar before November 22nd. Another shocking detail? Internal memos suggest the CIA was tracking Oswald's movements in Mexico City, where he allegedly met with Soviet and Cuban officials weeks before the attack.
We've got a long list. I can't even begin to go through all of the items that we've listed that we want to look at. But there are places where there have been redactions in sensitive documents. That's our first priority. Because there's a reason why we've got a sensitive document. We can tell it's a sensitive document. Other pieces of it reveal sensitive information, but there must be something really sensitive for them to redact a paragraph or a page or multiple pages in a document like that. You know, some of it's about Cuba, some of it's about what the CIA did or didn't do relative to Lee Harvey Oswald. Some of it is about assassination plots against Castro and, for all we know, other people.
The latest batch of files further confirms what many have long suspected. The CIA was keeping tabs on Oswald much more closely than they ever admitted. The question is, why wasn't this intelligence shared with the Secret Service or FBI in time to prevent the assassination? There's also new information on how the government handled the aftermath. One declassified FBI memo from 1964 reveals J. Edgar Hoover's frustration with early conspiracy theories. He wrote, "We must convince the public Oswald acted alone." That's a direct contradiction to the idea of an unbiased investigation. Over the years, various disclosures have added to the complexity of the JFK case. Some of the most controversial documents include CIA operations in Cuba and whether JFK's assassination was linked to anti-Castro efforts, the role of mob figures like Sam Giancana and their potential ties to both the CIA and Oswald, unanswered questions about the magic bullet theory, how a single bullet allegedly struck both JFK and Texas Governor John Connally. So where does this leave us? With the 2025 declassification, we've learned more about government surveillance, of Oswald, but many key documents remain redacted. The intelligence community argues that certain files contain national security secrets, even 6 decades later. But critics argue that withholding any information only fuels further speculation. Lawmakers are now pushing for a full, unredacted release of all remaining JFK files. Will we ever get the full truth? Or will this mystery continue for another generation? Will Trump enforce his full disclosure and transparency narrative into action?
So there are going to be surprises in there, but I just don't think there are going to be that many surprises about